Okay, we should be live. Hopefully. If I go... You know what? We should have some... No. Okay, I'm gonna wait for people to join up. Should I put some background music on? Maybe I should for while we talk. I guess I probably should. Because this is going to be a very talkative video. You know what? I might as well put the YouTube music in the background.
On December 7th, 2020.
Because yeah, I'm gonna be talking for a while on this one.
More than 300.
Because it's not me playing anything. It's gonna be an interesting stream. I haven't done something like it before. Welcome everyone to the stream. Right, can this... Wow, I loved supporting creators and not having premium. We'll put some background music that you can barely hear. More for me, so that I stay sane. So, on the tier list, I don't see me. That's true. True, I should add you. So, basically, the idea for today is, obviously, I can't rank every top player, and I didn't. So, I've picked out the current top 20 people in Pointer Crate, and then also a bunch of other people that I think could be top players or have done something in the community that they're known for top play in the community and they still actively play. Right, so I've added those, but I've also, this is more for also to just rank the top 20 that are currently on the stats viewer. Obviously, stats viewer doesn't equate to skill, so they're not just going to be ranked from the Zoink is the best and then 20th is the 20 best. Let me just go new video announcements. Stream. So I'll explain the tiers here. What is that? Oh my goodness, what is making noise? Oh, it's the ad. How do I get off the, what the fuck? Why did the ad start randomly blasting music? Please don't happen during recording. Okay, so basically, yeah. How I'm going to explain these tiers, it goes as so. So extended is going to mean that the person can beat extended list levels, right? They can relatively do them whenever, if they want to beat an extended list level, they'll play it and they'll be able to do it. Main list is it's basically the same thing, but they can do it for main lists. So for an extended person, a main list level might be out of their reach. They probably can't do that, or if they do, it's a big time commitment. For a main list, it is that, yes, they can sometimes do some main list levels, but maybe the top 20 or more likely the top 10 is going to be more of a time commitment for them. Probably the top 10. A pro player is going to be someone who can actively do top 20s. These are people who are cracked at the game. I would consider like some of the best players in the game at this point. Pros, it's similar as top 10, as in the top 10s might take them a considerable amount of time. However, unlike the main lists, it's actually more reachable for them to do a top 10. High pros are going to be people that have beaten a top 10 or multiple top 10s. If they want to do a top 10, they can, and they can at least try to play the current like top 3. Like they can actively play those levels, but beating them again, huge time commitment. A top player is going to be someone who can actively try and beat the top 1 level. They can go for the top 1 at this point. And they can beat a bunch of top 10s with minimal effort compared to anyone else, and they just steamroll through main lists and extendeds. And then not human is people who I don't think their progression is like anywhere near pretty much everyone in the community. They're kind of in their own section in the community. I think you already know who are going to go on there, but these are people who literally take 1,000 attempts, or sometimes less than 1,000 attempts to do some levels on the list. They're people who, like, could just beat anything they want, pretty much. So, we're gonna do that. Hey, I'm a top player. You're right. We should add Vernosis. We should add Vernosis. Hold on. Let's grab Vernosis here. I actually know. We'll start off with Vernosis. Why don't we? You're so right. So basically, Vernosis here is, I don't think I can fit him on this list. So we're gonna add a row below, specifically for Vernosis, so that we can let everyone else have some space. I think that's pretty fair. I think that's pretty fair. Okay, so now we can get on with the actual ranking. So, who shall we start out with? Right. Should I just go in order from here, top to bottom, or should I just pick out people? I feel like I should just pick out people. Okay, let's pick out someone who... I want to start with something like Nepasta, because I think Nepasta's a cool baseline. I wanted to pick Nepasta because, you know, he still plays the game, right? And in recent times, he's actually been, like, doing pretty good. Like, if we... Let's bring up Nepasta's channel here. If we look at Nepasta, like, honestly, he's actually pretty cracked at the game now. Like, obviously, he's nowhere near where he was before. Like, if we were ranking in history, which maybe I'll do that another time, Nepasta would be at this top player range, right? He could beat the hardest stuff. Not nowadays, but he's still pretty cracked at the game. I mean, the fact that he could beat stuff like the Ordinary, which, I mean, where's the Ordinary in the list now? It's in, like, the 60s, right? Or 70, yeah, so it's still a low main list, and he did that. Obviously, he beat Deimos, and if you compare how long something like Deimos took him compared to someone like Aonire, like, he, like, blitzed Deimos, right? So, he is actually pretty good at the game, and he's got a couple other achievements. Obviously, he beat Verdant Landscape recently, so that can go to his resume. He also can actually play platformer levels. I'm not gonna consider that in the rankings, but cool. I'd like to see, like, every time I rank one of these, I would like to see if you guys wanna put down where you think they should go, and then I'll give my opinion. But for me, I think, okay, he's definitely not, like, the bottom tier. Like, he's doing stuff. The fact that he can do stuff like Deimos makes me think that, like, where is Deimos currently? Deimos is currently 31, right? So it's no longer, like, that upper end, but it's just, like, teetering on the edge of, like, a low main list to, like, some of the actual harder main lists. So I would be willing to say he's probably at the top of main list right now. I think he can go for something in the top 20 if he put his mind to it and, like, make it a huge thing, and then he could go pro. He could probably go here, but I think for now he should be the top of main, like, the very top of main list. Like, he can do it, but he just doesn't have enough recent achievements, I think, to really say that he'd be a pro. His achievement-wise, he currently sits at main list. I think that's a good way to transition into doing someone like Zoink and Pop Off. Should I do them, or should I leave them for later? I think, you know what, let's just get Zoink out the way, because I think Zoink is the best player. I know a lot of people will say the Pop Off is. I don't even have to go on Zoink's profile. He obviously is not human. I don't think you guys are gonna disagree with that. Zoink is a case of where, like, I think Pop-Off probably does have more raw skill than him, but the thing is, that doesn't really matter if Pop-Off can't, like, show that he's above Zoink, in which case he isn't, because Zoink just puts in so much determination, right? Why I think there's a couple people, maybe one or two people, that are better raw skill than Zoink. I think the fact that Zoink has way more determination than anyone else in the top list, the top people, really kind of puts me to say that Zoink is the best player. Like, you need the determination as well as skill. Like, I think having good raw skill gets you to that tidal wave level, but having the determination puts you in that not human category, and that's what someone like Pop Off and Zoink has, but I think Zoink just has that extra level of, you know, determination. I think he wouldn't have done Thinking Space 2 otherwise. I mean, he's slaughtering the list. He's gonna do the Extreme Demon Roulette in 2026. Again, second person to beat the entire main list. Like, he's been at it for 3 years. By far the most dominant player. If this was the all-time list, I think I would also have Zoink at number 1. Both Zoink and Pop Off are equally skilled. I can also see that. Like, I mean, they're very, very close. I think they're very, very, very close. What are the pro and high pro categories? A pro is someone that can beat main list levels with pretty much ease, and they can tackle stuff in like that top 20, 25 range. Like, they can reasonably do that, but like a top 10 would take them a huge effort, and it would be like a year-long project. A high-end pro they might already have like a top 10 completed, and they're just, these are pretty similar tiers, but high pros just for that like extra level, because I think there needs to be this category to separate them off. It's basically people that are doing what a pro can do, but with a lot less attempts, a lot less time put into them. Hello, Blue Elephant. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, I think obviously Zoink's here. Okay, you guys are saying rank ChopBlocks. ChopBlocks is in chat, so we might as well rank ChopBlocks here. So I'll pull up ChopBlocks real quick, because I mean, I know I covered him in my videos, but maybe some of you don't know him. Hello? Okay, here we go. So rank Braden Bolt. Wait. I didn't add Braden Bolt to the list. I probably should have. You know what, let me just add him to the rank. I don't know how I didn't add him. I totally missed him. I'm gonna quickly add him in. Okay, there we go, Brainball's in. But, we're talking about ChopBlocks here, right? This guy is doing the, top 5 unnerfed Africa circles. I'm pretty much sure it's confirmed now that this is pretty much tidal wave difficulty around that. But like, even if we don't take this into account, he beat Acheron twice. I'm pretty sure he beat 2.1 Acheron and 2.2 Acheron. He's also got some major stuff under his belt, like, I don't know if he puts it here, but like, he beat Andromeda. We're gonna get ads, because I support creators and I don't buy premium. But, like, why is it in 144p? But, like, he beat Andromeda. And I mean, that's a top 10. If we go here, now, I will say Andromeda's about to fall to top 10 with Penumbral, and a lot of people seem to be able to not only fluke Andromeda, but just beat Andromeda. Like, compared to any other list level, this one has so many more victors. But there's still not many, right? And he's still an absolute cracked player for this, and if we look at his attempt count, does he state it here? I mean, if he's in chat, he can probably tell us. You could probably tell us how many attempts it took you. Maybe I'm not seeing. 62,000. 62,000 attempts, right? So, that's a lot, but is it like a stupid amount? Which, again, that's why he's able to do something like a top 5. Which makes me want to say he's probably a high-end pro, but no, but then he beat the Andromeda. He's like teetering on this edge. I think if he's able to beat Africa Circles, if he beats Africa Circles, then I would put him in this high pro tier. If he actually goes through with it. Currently I'd say he's like the top, like the highest pro. Like the highest pro. But like, I feel like I need to see him go through, or at least like get more progress on Africa. But then here's the thing, he's been like blitzing through this. I mean, 3 weeks ago 60 to 100, and then he already got 50%. He might be high pro. He's also done stuff like Cosmos and so. Yeah, no, actually I would say he's low high pro. You know, I would say he's low high pro. I'd say he's like the bottom of high pro. he could become like a normal like high pro level player if he ends up beating, or like maybe in the higher end if he beats whatchamacallit. Look at your attempt count. Okay, if you look, you took 12k. That's like nothing for something like that, and that's recent. So that show. Yeah, no, I'd say you're low. Okay, yeah. I would say bottom high pro, but in the future, like I feel like if he beats Africa Circles, then he could go to the higher end. I'm gonna put him there for now, because now that I look at it, like having him like since I said the past was like top of the main list. Having him at like pro when the gap there is incredible. Yeah, he has to be high pro. Who should we take now? Who's an interesting one? We could go with. Who do you guys want? Guys, tell me who you want me to rank, and I'll do them next. Me next. Well, obviously, I was number 1 GDB tier. I was number 1 in the stats sphere at one point, so I would mark everyone and be in the not human tier. But I want to be fair, so I didn't add me. Doobes? Okay, I want to keep... Okay, we need to keep Doobes in chat, so we need to do him in like a couple ones time. I'll do him soon, but... Zeronium. There's a couple East Sharks and a couple Zeroniums. I'll do Zeronium, because I think Zeronium's an interesting one to talk about. If we pull up Zeronium... obviously he just beats a ton, like kind of like Apex, who we'll get onto in a minute. He just kind of beats a bunch of stuff, but then also, unlike Apex, he has a ton of higher end achievements. He did Abyss of Darkness. Okay, now Abyss of Darkness is obviously around his peak. I think we can agree that with the time it took him to do Abyss of Darkness, that's around what he can do. Which is 19. But I would say he's showed that he's obviously able to do stuff easier than someone like Aeon, and Aeon's able to go for something at 12, Slime Club Step. So I would say that if Zeronium put his mind to it, he could probably do something like Andromeda that's 10. He's got other stuff done like Deimos. I mean that's pretty high, 31. What else has he done here? He's done Gagatronda, verified it, so it's gonna feel harder to him. He did stuff like Limbo, which again, that's like lower top 50. He kind of thrives in kind of this category, from stuff like Walter White here, like low main list to like the top of the lower end main list, but something like Minus Drawing Convulsion. He kind of thrives in that range, which makes me want to have him at this pro tier. Cause like he can do main lists, like he doesn't just do a couple main lists. He's done a bunch of main lists, and he's shown to do stuff in like the 20 range. So I would say that he can go in pro. I would put him at high pro because again, I think he's not really done anything to show that. Like someone like ChopBlocks obviously can get to that range. Like he's proven it. Zeronium hasn't proven himself to be able to do something incredibly hard. Like he does the really hard stuff, but he doesn't do the hardest of the hard, which is why I want to keep him at pro. Add Space UK. You know what? Fair enough, because Space UK like is actually like kind of legit now. It's like I feel like we can actually add him. I kind of had in my mind, oh, hacker can add, but like we kind of can have him. We'll do him a bit later, but who shall we move on to now? We could move on to Easter. You guys wanted East Shark. So we can probably do East Shark here. We'll pull his channel up there, and then we'll grab him. Where is he? Here he is. East Shark. Where do we want to put East Shark? I don't actually know too much about him, like, completion-wise. I just know, obviously, the verifier of Booba Wamba. So, the fact that he was able to verify something that was top 10, okay? And at the time, it was, like, secret number 3, okay? That was a big achievement, but if we lower that to current standards of skill, that at least puts him in the pro range. Like, he's at least there. But then, obviously, if we look at the completions here, we have easier stuff, but then we also have stuff like Acheron, Sakupin Circles, Walter White, And these are stuff that, like we said, Zeronium was doing, but he's doing them at a way faster pace. And he's doing them with some stuff that's even harder, like 7 Club Step, or Spectre. Like, Spectre's really hard. I Blitz Snowbound, he's doing stuff like Kyuki. Like, he's doing these pretty quickly now. Like, what is that? In a month's time, he's done 3, like, decently hard main lists. If we go to, yeah, we can look at his stats viewer here. Like, he's the number 7. Like, he's gone a lot. Now, my thing is, a lot of these points, like, the reason I didn't want to look at the stats viewer is because it does kind of, skew my thought process, because, like, yes, he is the number 7 best player, but he kind of grinds out these, like, lower main lists, but a lot of that's what gives him his points. But, like, if we look at the higher end stuff, like, he's done Booba Wamba, and then after Booba Wamba, we're looking at something that's around, like, Acheron difficulty, and then it's basically going back to the demon list. If we look, he's, like, done a couple of these hard stuff, and then he's just done a ton of these lower bits. That doesn't mean he's bad or anything. That, the fact that he's able to do a sheer amount of those makes me think he can definitely do something around Booba Wamba's difficulty again. But, I would put him... I'd put him below ChopBlocks at High Pro. Like, I think he probably is at ChopBlocks' level, but he hasn't proved it. Why do you have 3 browsers? We don't talk about it. I would put him High Pro at the very bottom, right? Yeah, probably same tier as Chop. I agree with that. But I do think he's lower. Like, he hasn't proved himself. I think, again, he probably could. He probably could actually be better than ChopBlocks, but he doesn't prove it. And I need the evidence for him to show me that, and he just hasn't done it. So I'm gonna keep him at the low High Pro, but he's still on my radar. His Shark is cracked. Should I bring up Lord Vadercraft here? Because I think Lord Vadercraft is a really funny case. Lord Vadercraft, if we go to his... I want to go to his profile to show this. Because for some reason, maybe it's just me, but Lord Vadercraft just, like, never improves his skill. He does a lot. He does so much. I mean, he verifies everything, but he never improves his skill. He never... Like, it seems like he's always taking the same amount of time to do stuff. Like, he peaked at Eyes in the Water, and he hasn't done anything as hard since. Like, how hard is Centipede supposed to be now? Because, like, in my mind, I don't think it's been buffed since the update. I think the update was just to improve the gameplay. I don't think it actually got buffed, so the fact that he's taking that long in it is... I don't know. It's weird. I mean, he's also done stuff like Firework, but again, look at this. Like, everything else isn't main list. And these are all, like, legacy stuff, right? So he hasn't actually done much, which is kind of sad. So, I mean, he's shown... Like, I don't know. It's really buff. Okay, it is buffed. Okay, how... Okay, I'm seeing it is buffed, but people are saying it's top 30, which is what I thought it was before. Below Pew Cubed on the global list. Okay, that is where I thought it was, but you have to think, like, even that... Like, let's say that is buffed and it is at that difficulty. That's still, like, Eyes in the Water difficulty, which means... And he's taken even longer. So... Like, it just makes... And the Firework, him being Firework and Eyes in the Water took ages. Even stuff like Zodiac took him a decent amount of time. So I feel... I want to say he's main list just because, like, he can do stuff in that range that someone in the extended list just can't. He's definitely not extended list here, but he's, you know... I can't really, in good faith, put him in any of the higher tiers of main list. Who do we want next? 62 people watching, that's crazy, but who do we want to rank next? again, even if Centipede's like way harder, like let's say even if it's top 20, he's still taking. He's been going at it for so long that like I can't. It means he's halted his progression in other ways as well. So I still can't in good faith put him any higher. If he beats Centipede and it turns out to be like super duper 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 difficult, then maybe I'd rank him higher. But Paco clone. I'm seeing a lot of Dovins. Should we rank Dovin? Dovin's insane. Like, let me go to his channel. He's one of the 2 players right now that I think is going to, who, like, has the chance to end up in not human tier, like, if he keeps on playing. This guy is absolutely crazy. Look at this. Like, this, in the span of less than a month, he did, penumbral, first Victor, absolutely blitz a top 10. Every end in world record attempts, that's a top 10. Spectre instant. I know he picked up again, but after he picked up, he blitzed it. And Quattroentos processing right after. Now, keep in mind, he did have Quattroentos processing. He did, you know, have a, if we look here, 59,000 attempts. But this was, like, 4 days after coming back to the level. So, I think that shows that he's improved since getting those runs. And it's clear, even before his, like, random boost in skill, he could still nearly beat stuff like Subsuming Vortex, which is top 10 at the time. He's shown that he can beat, like, all the other lower top 10s, or maybe now they're top 20s. This guy is probably a top, like, I would say this guy is a top player. I would say the Dovin is a top player. Probably on the lower end of the top players. I need to see more, and some of the attempt counts are quite big. But from, like, the sheer amount that he's been doing recently, I can't not put him in top player. He's been doing so much. Like, actually crazy. He's technically pulling off the best performance of a player in 2026 so far. His stats in the last 2 months been better than Pop Off and Zoink. There's one person that I think may be doing better, but, like, yeah, he's, like, he is definitely one of, if not the best upcoming player right now. He's genuinely crazy. I don't know how he does it. This guy, the Eastern European, the Polish, and the Russian communities, like, they've been popping off recently. Okay, who shall we do next, guys? Quattroentos? We could do Quattroentos. 400? Yeah, okay. Okay, we'll do Quattroentos. We'll do him. So, Quattroentos is quite an interesting one, because obviously Flame Wall Verifier. That was a crazy thing. Like, even though Flame Wall took him a while, keep in mind that, like, he was getting 99% and, like, high-end scores, like, every stream. He was mad consistent with that. He got world record on Fairy Knife Hell, 37%, which is supposedly top 1. Like, that was, and apparently it was supposed to be top 1 by a good margin. So, that's crazy. AI thumbnails are throwing me off. But, he does, like, beat a bunch of stuff. He hasn't been doing as much recently. However, I mean, maybe he's been going live. I mean, he's been playing Fairy Knife Hell. I think he's on a bit of a break. But, I mean, if we look here, after, I know Flame Wall was a jump, but after he beat Flame Wall, he just started, like, doing stuff. He's shown that he can do, like, stuff at that difficulty still. He did 55 to 100 on Tidal Wave. He's done stuff like Through the Gates, Voltage, Saul Goodman, Oblivion, Damascus, Collapse, like, Graceful, Dark Dementia. He can Subterminal Point as well, which is decently hard. Like, he can do some crazy stuff. Flame Wall alone means he has to go in High Pro. I wouldn't put him at the top end of High Pro. My thing is, again, he's shown to do stuff more than East. I think he's around East Shark's level. Let's like take a look at his attempt count on some of this. Like, how quick did he beat something like Saul Goodman? 11.5 old K. Okay, but that doesn't explain his attempt count. Okay, like a top 60 collapse. What did that take him? 4.3. He just says is old. But it seems like he does them pretty instant. I would say he's here. I mean, here's the thing. I think ChopBlocks is a better player, but ChopBlocks hasn't showed anything. ChopBlocks hasn't actually shown, like, beaten anything to show that. His attempt counts and his progress in Africa Circles show it, but he hasn't really beaten anything to prove that he's above Quattroentos. And it's the fact that Quattroentos has progress on Tidal Wave and beat Flame Wall and can do stuff quickly. Like, I'm gonna have to put him there. I don't think he's a top player. Like, I think he takes too, like, obviously Flame Wall was too big of a really big jump. So I don't think he's there. But, yeah, I would put East Shark above, but East Shark hasn't shown, like, he just grinds a bunch of the lower ends of the mid ends of the main list, but he doesn't actually, besides the jump from Buboamba, he doesn't actually do much. So I think East Shark has more potential, and if East Shark does some more harder stuff, he'll go above. For now, I want to put him there. Aonire? We could do Aonire. We can do Aonire. Let's do Aonire. So I wouldn't put Aonire because, again, he's a good, like, showcase of skill. He's got progress. Like, I want to say he's probably the upper extended, like, the thing is, I mean, he's going for Silent Club Step. I feel like Silent Club Step's a very jumpable level, right? And, like, 2 runs in Silent Club Step, he did fluke the duel, which kind of shows consistency. Until he beat Silent Club Step, I don't know. I mean, I guess he could be main list, because he did, no, he did Deimos. Like, I'll have to put him main list. He did Deimos. It did take him a long time, but he did do it. He's shown to do stuff. He could definitely do stuff in the lower main list as well to prove it. He's definitely main list. I don't know why I said extended. Probably above Lord Vadercraft. Maybe. Yeah, because if Lord Vadercraft takes a while. Lord Vadercraft takes a whole while. Aonire has the skill of a pro, but he just takes too long to beat the stuff and takes too many attempts for me to really want to rank him at pro. I don't think he's above Nepesta. I think Nepesta's shown more. If Nepesta wanted to do something as hard as Silent Club Step, he could have. If you want proof, look at their difference in how they played Deimos. But yeah, I would put him there. I think that's a good spot. We don't have extended, so I want to put someone to show what extended it would be. Let's get ConX out the way and get me Scoon. I dip in 10 minutes. We'll do you after ConX. We'll do after ConX. ConX is so. Like, obviously, I wanted to put him because, like, I did most of TCD, so I might as well put ConX in there as well. And, I mean, ConX can play extended means that they can reasonably do extended levels. As much as we joke about ConX, he does show his, like, he can do stuff. Like, he did Bloodlust fairly quickly. Like, he can show that he can do, harder levels. And he has that verification that's top 150, right? He has, yeah, verifying and extended, yeah. He also beat, yeah, VSC Victor. He also beat VSC, which, keep in mind, that's Slaughterhouse difficulty. That's pretty much confirmed Slaughterhouse difficulty. So, like, he's done achievements that can put him on this list, for sure. But he's nowhere near the higher tiers. Like, VSC probably didn't help his skill, like, much at all. But it is an achievement. So, I want to put him there. Let's do Doobes then, before Doobes leaves. I'm gonna pull up Doobes' channel here to just show you what he's done. So obviously he's done world record attempts on Eternus. Eternus is his big thing right now. He also did Grief in free runs. The problem with ranking Doobes is there isn't many completions from Doobes. It's all just progress. And beating a level is way harder than doing runs on a level. So I still think he's really, really cracked. I think people do overrate Doobes a bit. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think he's a really, really, really good player. I think he does get slightly overrated just because of the progress. But then but he's showed that he can instantly do, like, Silent Circles in 2 runs, which is definitely top 10. And he, like, instantly did that. Something that, I know that ChopBlocks is playing a slightly harder level, but, like, ChopBlocks, he did this instant. He's done other stuff, like, a lot of this stuff is hard to rank, because, like, a lot of this stuff is, like, niche things, like, again, Apollo, which is top 1 on the layout list, is not, like, directly demon list stuff he does, but the stuff he does is really crazy. Again, unnerf scoop and circles progress. So I wouldn't say he is high pro. He probably could be high pro. Like, he's like bordering here, right? He's like in between this pro range. Again, he's shown progress on so many top 10s that I think someone like Zeronium couldn't do in that reasonable time. I would say he's above Zeronium. I would say that in raw skill, Doobes is probably around East Shark's difficult. I'd say he's lower, like he's like here. Like, he is in that high pro tier in raw skill. But he just hasn't beaten anything to prove that he can do that. But I think on progress alone, we can just say that he is harder. He's harder. He's harder. He is better than Zeronium. So I would like to say you were at the peak top level of pro. But you've done stuff that I think people like that are up here wouldn't try. Well, no, because I mean, Quattroentos also has progress on like top 1s like Fairy Knife Owl. Again, I just think you have the skill of a high pro, but due to not beating stuff, I would say you're like a pro. I think that's fair. I think this is a fair ranking. Harder than Zeronium. Yeah, it's harder than Zeronium. Who should we... Lowest high pro? I mean, that's pretty much where we put him. Yeah, let's say... Okay, who do we want to do next? Who do we want to do next? I'll let you guys decide. Tria, Rose, Cookie, Tria, Max Dash, Wordy, Backward Trick, Rose, Wordy. Okay, seems like he's one Wordy. We might as well do him. Here he is. This is the guy who I said could be better than Doin currently. After beating Nullscapes, this guy popped off. Keep in mind, he could do stuff at Flame Wall difficulty. He pretty much did 24 to 100 on Flame Wall. I know Flame Wall's a long level, so that's obviously nowhere near like beating it, but that's still crazy. Years ago, he did stuff like Andromeda and Anathema and Avernus, which is crazy, but in recent times, he's really put on the grind. Again, in a month, he did Penumbral every end, just like Doin. But he also did a world record fluke on Deimos from 57, world record on Tunnel of Despair, and then obviously he's shown his title at progress. I heard from somewhere that he already got like a run like 38 to 100 or something similar to that. But he's blitzing through something like Tidal Wave. I have to put him at top. The question is Doin or Wordy better? Where are they currently on the demon list, like, compared to each other? Dovin's 105. And Wordy's 18. So I want to say that Wordy's just going to be above Doin because he's just shown more. I think they both have pretty equal potential. Like, I would understand if you put Wordy below Dovin, or if you put Dovin below Wordy. Like, I think that's fair. I think these are very close. These guys are very close in skill. But I just have to put Wordy on top because he's just shown more. They're both like equally as good right now. They're equally as competitive. These are the upcoming players. It used to be, I would say Servax and Tygo were the upcoming players that everyone had in their minds. I think these two are like the new gens of them. But they seem to be putting in a lot of effort right now. So, right. Who do we wanna go to now? I think we need to fill the extended tier, like the mid tier. Or should I do like a really controversial one? I kind of want to do a controversial one. Where these top 3 achievements have all been in the past month. Yeah, you know how crazy that is? That's actually crazy. Paco, Z Levi, Doggy. I'm seeing a lot of max dashes. Maybe max dash. We'll do max dash. Max dash is a super interesting one. Now I'm gonna compare again. We're comparing skill, like we're comparing skill in the most optimal way. So even though he's playing on mobile, we have to compare him like any other player. That even if we do that, he's like really crazy at the game. The fact that he's doing it on mobile is ridiculous. The problem is I can't rank him with mobile mind, like, because I can't rank him like really high because he hasn't really shown how good he is on PC. So like I couldn't tell you what his skill would translate to there. So we have to base his skill off of what he's done on mobile. But even with that disadvantage, compared to everyone else, he's been doing crazy stuff. Again, like Firework. Okay, keep in mind that Firework, for a normal player without even being on mobile, beating something like Firework puts him in this mainless category, I feel like, instantly. So he's already not even at the lowest tier on mobile. And then he's beat his progress on Absolute End, which I believe is going to be maybe low top 10, or like high top 20. If for PC players, not even, and it's by far top 1 on mobile. Makes me want to put him in pro. His attempts are too big. Yeah, his attempts are really big. But, like, I don't know if I can in good faith put him in pro because, I mean, like, if we go to his hardest, I don't know if he has a list here. We're gonna have to look him up here. Similar to other people, it's a lot of progress. Firework, Hard Machine, Renvent, like, other than Firework, it is too high of it's too high of attempts to make me put him in pro. How's my morning been? It's actually been pretty good, thank you. But yeah, I think if we keep in mind, guys, I want you to keep this in mind. If we were putting this in like the context of like weighting mobile achievements higher, then I would put him in the not human tier or in the top player tier. If we were like weighting mobile achievements, but I want to. This is going to be as like objective as possible. So he would have to I would have to see how well he plays on PC. There's a very good chance that he could reach this top player not human tier if he played on PC, 100% high in pro. But he doesn't. We can only base it off of what he's done on mobile, and even those mobile things are stupid high attempt counts. So I have to in good faith, put him down here. But please keep in mind, if we were rating mobile achievements, he's like here. He's like right there. He's crazy good. I'm going to have to put him there for now. He's been absolute end is something I don't see someone like the Pasta doing, so I'm having him there. I'm fine with him there. He's not human because he's French. Sure. Who do you want to rank now, guys? Who's next? We still have a bunch to go through. I might have to make this a two-parter. Garbeck, Pop Off. Is Vertop on the list? I don't think I put. Wait, did I put Vertop? I think I might have missed him. Yeah, I did. Hold on. He's also a mobile player. But he's like not really done. Like I don't know if I wanna. But I mean, I guess he's done. Okay, you know what? We'll add Vertop. We'll add Vertop. It's just Vertop will be like hard to judge. Which is why I didn't add him. I think originally, but you know, we'll add him anyways. We'll add him anyways. Doggy, 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 doggy. I'm seeing a lot of doggy. I think we should do doggy then. Let's do doggy, and I'm about to be very, very hot take with doggy's my very hot take. I don't know. I feel like everyone's take on doggy is kind of hot at the moment. But where would I put him? I'll put him at like the very bottom of top player. I'm putting him at the very bottom of top player, okay? Here's the thing. A lot of people would actually unironically put Doggy here. But, it's just like Grief is taking him so like even if Grief is top 1. Which, let's be honest, Grief is top 1. Like, he's been going at it for way too long to reasonably put that, and Grief has stunted his growth a lot. Right? Like, he's been able to do stuff like Avernus. Like, 3 months ago, Avernus is a good example of what he can do. He did Avernus in, what? 33k, even with 33,000 ults, still took him 28k attempts. Which is a lot, which is, like, not a lot in comparison with where Avernus is. But, like, that's, like, from what he's shown, non-grief, he is actually only, like, a high pro. I think he actually is only like a high pro level, but I think that he can go here just because of Grief. I think his world record on Grief, that alone could probably be top 1. If it isn't, it's probably like number 3. Like it could tackle the top 3 on the list right now. Doggy, the most overrated top player. I agree. He's the most overrated top player, but that doesn't by any means mean he's bad at the game. He's really cracked at the game, like super cracked at the game. I wouldn't put him in the not human tier, or in the higher end of top players for that. Especially with people like Doin and Wordy spending so much less time in the game to be higher and showing achievements that beats what Doggy has shown. There's over 100 people watching, by the way. I've never hit that number before. That's crazy. Add our shadow. Oh my goodness, you're right. How did I forget Mr. Oval himself? We'll add our shadow. That'll be an interesting one. I want to leave him for now because I think he's an interesting one to get to later. But we'll keep him there for now. Who shall we do now? I'm thinking. Who should we do now? Should we just get Pop Off out the way? Or should we leave? I feel like we should leave the top not human and top players and for like spread them out, right? Tunnel GD, Sharkfield, Trick, Septagon, Sharkfield. I've been seeing a lot of Sharkfield love. We could do Sharkfield. That's just sharks in a field. I would like Sharkfield, please. That's Shark Bird. I want Sharkfield. Let's bring up Sharkfield. Sharkfield is an interesting one. Here's Sharkfield. If we pull up Sharkfield on the stats viewer, Sharkfield is one of the best players in the game. Sharkfield's currently ranked 13. Okay? And similar to someone like East Shark, Sharkfield just has a ton of stuff. Nothing too hard. In fact, it's actually probably less than East Shark because like Acheron is a lot easier than something like Booba Wamba. So if anything, Sharkfield's probably worse than E-Shark. However, Sharkfield's done more. Like, I feel like Sharkfield's done a similar amount, if not more, of these like mid-range main lists. If you watched the M-Dog's video on the subject, this is what gave me the idea of it, but I wanted to do this because he only like listed a couple people of each category, so I think just doing a ton of people would be a lot very interesting live stream. But yeah, I think this guy is probably do difficulty order. Can you do that on the list? I didn't wait, God, what? Wait, no, whoever told me this? You were such a freaking lifesaver. How did I never know you could do this? What? I did not know that. That makes looking at the demon list so much better. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we can look at that here. Like, he's done... The difference between him and E-Shark is if we pull up E-Shark's done a couple of the harder levels. Sharkfield's done more. I mean, the thing is, he hasn't done stuff like Spectre. I think he's very much equal to E-Shark. I think they're very similar. Looking at it here, but I'm gonna put Sharkfield below East Shark, just because East Shark's just shown more, slightly more, while having a harder hardest. I think that I want to still say high pro, because these are some crazy achievements. And if we look at Sharkfield channel, look at this, 14 hours ago, 2 weeks ago, like, these are very quick achievements. So I think having high pro is fair placement. I think that should be fair placement. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with saying at the bottom of high pro. Let's get someone who's, like, at the lowest end here. Let's get, like, Tria here. Like, I'm gonna put Tria here. Tria's, like, again, Tria's only here because, again, I want to put in people who do the game in a different way, kind of like Max Dash. Tria plays on controller, so beating stuff like Renovan and the Golden, and I think Thinking Space as well, stuff at that difficulty around, like the low top 150, doing stuff like that while on controller is an achievement. But again, we're not doing this via weight, we're doing this via, like, objective ranking, so Tria has to go extended, but, Tria's crazy for playing on controller. Sorry for asking you, and I know I'm not a pro, but where would I be if my top 3 is Tartarus, Def Corridor, and Arctic Lights? That'd be extended tier. That would be on here, but it's, like, extended tier. Anything that's, like, anyone who has, like, a hardest that's not a main list is probably going extended tier, but I'm only keeping this for people who have done insane, like, have this random outlier condition, like Max Dash being on mobile, Tria being on controller, ConX beating VSC. Who should we do next, guys? Ideas. Pop Off, Laser. Laser's an interesting one. Wordy just got 32 to 100 on Tidal Wave. That's what I was talking about before with, I think Wordy has a better progress than 55 to 100. I've heard that multiple times. Pop Off? Okay, I've heard a couple Pop Offs. We may or may not do Pop Off. Jules, Emrach, Cursed, Septagon, Garbeck, a couple lasers. Maybe we should do laser. Yeah, okay. It's pretty much Cursed and laser he's one. Let's do, who comes up first on here? I'll do whoever comes up first, laser or Cursed. What is Cursed profile picture? It's here. I think laser comes first. Laser comes first. We'll do laser. Laser's crazy. Actually, laser's probably better if we go here. Laser is currently ranked as the best UK player at 17. Now, Spectre is his hardest, okay? I'll say we can't judge him too much because, again, Like, he hasn't beaten anything super, super hard. But, like, just look at how many of these are, like, on the higher end. Okay, I've accidentally clicked on one of his recordings. But, like, he's done stuff like Tunnel of Despair, Spectre, and Kyuki, which is crazy. But what I find more crazy is the pace that he does stuff in. Again, this guy has over 50% on Heliopolis. That on its own is crazy. But also, he just posts, like, very consistently. He's got good progress on Flame Wall. And he's done a bunch of these harder like these mid-range main lists. But I can't, in good faith, here's the thing. Like, I would love to put him higher than a low pro. I think he could go in this top, like, this, like, higher end of the pro range if we see good progress on Glass Chapel. The problem is he's verifying Glass Chapel, which is, if you don't know, it's Aragon, I think that's his name now, previously Manny Halfley, top 5. If he gets through that in a quick process, then I can totally see him. I can totally see him go to the higher end of High Pro, or teeter on the edge of top player. But I think with what we've seen, I can't in good faith put him there. I think he's done more than Sharkfield. Sharkfield's good at the game, but Sharkfield hasn't, like, harnessed his Acheron. But wait, actually, like, I'm saying this under the impression that, the Spectre's harder than Acheron. I might even be wrong about that. Okay, no, so they're around the same. That's interesting. Actually, I might say for now, I might put Sharkfield above Laser. I'm gonna say that because is Sharkified? I didn't know that. I thought it was Sharkfield. I'm so dumb. It's Sharkified. Oopsies. My bad. Well, Sharkified. Okay, it's Sharkified then. Sharkified's thing is, I think Sharkified's doing more now. Like, currently we're seeing more completions and progress get whipped out. However, Laser, I think, can go higher. Again, if Laser beats Glass Chapel, I think he's closer to, like, here. But until we see stuff like that, I'm gonna put him below Sharkified. Abdiel Devil. I need to remember what the profile picture of Abdiel is. Okay, it's that. Do we have Abdiel on here? Why do we not have Abdiel on here? Let me grab this. Oh wait, why am I doing that? Might as well do him and Garbeck at the same exact time. I think doing them at the exact same time makes sense. Difference is, okay, we need to see, like, who has more stuff other than the Heliopolis. They're around the same in Heliopolis, levels, right, of skill. But we need to just see, like, here's the thing. Abdiel Devil has done stuff like Chill, that's top 30, Kyuki's hard, Anathema Progress, which is nearly top 10. Scoop and Circles, like the Avernus, like these are really hard stuff. Along with Heliopolis Progress, I want to put him like, he's done more stuff than Doobes. Like, Doobes has got progress and stuff, so I can't put in good faith Doobes above Abdiel Devil. I put Abdiel Devil in Pro at the very top. Because he's got a few completions, but, I mean, it's just a few. So I wouldn't say, he's, like, teetering on the edge of that high Pro level, but I would say that he's probably a Pro. Low high Pro. I can see low high Pro. I've got him at, like, the top. of Pro. Again, like, I need to see slightly more. I would need to see slightly more. It's kind of because, like, we've seen Heliopolis is crazy. Again, it's top 1. But, playing from 0 is a different beast on Heliopolis. So, like, and because he's only really done Heliopolis in the past, well, he's beaten stuff like Chill. Again, if he just, like, took a break from Heliopolis for a tiny bit, and, like, got down, like, something like Anathema, if he just beat that, or he beat something in, like, that top 15 range, then you missed Acheron. Did he do Acheron as well? Okay, he did Acheron. I didn't actually know he did Acheron. Maybe he would be here. Okay, I'll put him at the bottom of High Pro. I'll put him at the bottom of High Pro then. I guess having like some like Acheron and Avernus, yeah. Yeah, I'll put him there. And then Garbeck, okay, Garbeck, I'm pretty sure, I think that's is that how you say his name? Yeah, Garbeck. He's the other one with progress. He's got good progress on stuff like Nullscapes. Again, I only know these guys for Heliopolis progress, so I'm learning here what they've done. The difference with Garbeck is he's done stuff like every end. What is his profile? Because I feel like he's done more than this, and it's just not showing on his channel. He's literally just done every end in Limbo. Like, how do I rank this guy? Because, like, he's done, like, nothing, but he has something as hard as every end. I don't actually think I'd put Garbeck above Abdel. Like, yes, he's got the harder stuff beaten, and he's got better, like, same progress on, Heliopolis. But Abdel just has such a larger resume that I can't in good faith put Garbeck there. I'll put Garbeck above Doobes, because at least he's followed through and beat, like, the top 10 instead of Doobes. But these guys are pretty much, like, the same level. Maybe even below. How many attempts did it take him to do every end? Like, 19,000 attempts, I mean, is low, but considering what every end is, I think there's fine. I think he's literally, like, bordering Doobes. Like, they're pretty much the same level, I would say. Said fairly pleasant. Heliopolis is hard in every end. I can see that. I can see that. There's no way he's the same tier as Zeronium. Well, he's better than Zeronium. I didn't say it was worse than Zeronium, but this tier, like, these tiers encompass, you have to keep in mind, these tiers encompass a large amount of skill. Who should we do next, guys? Purel? Cursed? Taigo? Purel? Maybe I'll do Purel. Because Purel's an interesting one to do, I feel like. But then a lot of people have been asking for Curse. Nethermind, Emrach, A6, Purel. Okay, we'll do Purel. We'll do Purel. And then we'll do someone really good at the game in a sec. But let's quickly do Purel. Purel's interesting because Purel's more of a like a content creator of anything, but he's like a content creator with his skill. Like, what's he... Like, I'd have to bring up Purel's stat viewer. Like, I don't even know. Like, 423. 423 is, I mean, he's beaten Sugubid Circles, but again, a lot of these levels are, like, jumping levels, right? If you look here, like, they're either wave carried or jumping levels. Zodiac's a jumping level. Unknown's a wave level, then a jumping level. Sonic Wave Infinity's a wave level. The Golden's a wave level. Cobwebs is a challenge. Super Haymeter was pretty much just a bunch of challenges in one. And then Scoop and Circles is obviously a jumping and wave level. Like, other than that, like, he's got some crazy spam. I know he's got some crazy spam, but he needs to beat levels to put the spam to use, which he is trying, but, like, it's hard to rank him because a lot of these are, like, challenges, which are kind of hard to rank. But, like, he's done 25 to 100 in Storehouse. Like, he can do hard stuff, but I wouldn't put him in the pro tier. I wouldn't put him in the pro tier, but I would put him higher up. With that progress, he definitely shows he's better than the Pasta currently. Like, if he wanted to, he could do like some pretty hard stuff. He is more focused on challenges right now. So I would say he's above the Pasta. I don't want to say he's above Max Dash because Max Dash is currently trying to do like a top 10. And has beaten stuff like Firework, which is around the difficulty of stuff like Sorhat. Well, actually, no. I mean, the question is, does having progress on a top 10 outweigh multiple like top 30-ish completions? I feel like Purel has more to his resume, which makes me want to put him above Max Dash. Because he also, like, it's not only just his progress on levels, he also has the skill of spam to add to it. Mobile's just a hindrance. Do I have a Discord server? It should be in the description of this video. So I would say that Purel's above Max Dash. I don't want to put him in Pro. I do not want to put him in Pro because I need to just see more actual completions than just challenges. But I would say that Purel is definitely above the likes of the Pasta or Aonire or Max Dash. I think he's teetering on the edge, but he just hasn't, like, shown progress on anything that makes me want to put him in Pro, or he doesn't have the sheer quantity of stuff that makes me want to put him in Pro. Let's do someone that's really cracked at the game. Should we get Pop Off out the way, guys? Yes or no? Yes or no? Should we get Pop Off out of the way? Because I think you are all wondering where I would place Pop Off, since we already have Zoink on the list. I've kind of already said it at the beginning, but I'm sure not a lot of you were here for the beginning. Yes, 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 okay. We'll do Pop Off. We'll do Pop Off then. We'll do Pop Off. Pop Off, in my opinion, is currently below Zoink. However, I think his raw skill's above Zoink. Like I said before, I think that Pop Off in raw skill could do better stuff than Zoink. I think if he had the same amount of time, if you got Zoink and Pop Off, you gave them, from the start of their career to now, you gave them the same amount of time to play the game and giving them the same levels, Pop Off would be better than Zoink. However, Pop Off lacks the determination that Zoink has. I'm not saying Pop Off isn't determined, but I think that Zoink just has much more passion for the game than someone like Pop Off, which is why he's done so much more. Pop Off he's just locked in with Mind Block. I don't know if it's Mind Block, but he just doesn't have the same motivation for the game, which is completely fine, but he just doesn't care as much than someone like Zoink. So that's my opinion. I still think he's not human, a tier. He's pretty much Wordy and Doin, but with years of evidence to back it up instead of just a month to go off of. So these guys are probably going to start in less than a year's time, nearing these guys' level of play. But Pop Off and Zoink just have so much more history to them, so much more on their resume to back them up. This is why I'd put them in the not human tier. What should we do now? I think an interesting one to do would be Emrach. I think Emrach would be an interesting one. I'm sure you want to know what Emrach lands, since he was my last video. So Emrach, again, I can't really say much about Emrach, because he's only got 3 list demons. However, the fact he has 3 list demons is a bit crazy. The fact that 2 of them are Slaughterhouse and Cosmos are even more crazy. This guy, I don't get. I mean, I do get it, right? But I just don't. How are you good at anything you touch? This guy's genuinely crazy. He could do, and he only did it in like 10k attempts. What do you mean? And debatably, here's the thing that I find crazier, is the fact that he did it way quicker than Slaughterhouse, and I would say that Cosmos tests your skill more than Slaughterhouse. Not saying that's harder, I just think it tests your skill more. So the fact he could do this is crazy. A lot of people say that he could do Subsuming Vortex. I can see it. And I think he can get out of this wave trick thing that he's got going on, because a lot of levels he's done, like Unknown, Slaughterhouse, and Cosmos, yes, most of their difficulty is the wave parts, but it's not like their only wave. They have other gameplay parts that would have helped them improve. But he is stuck in wave, which means I can't put him too high. But he's already, keep in mind, he's already done stuff that just, like, dwarfs anything someone like Lord Vadercraft has done. In that low attempt count, I would put him, unironically, above Nepasta. Probably above. Like, I can't see, and, like, okay. It makes sense with how much he's done that you could say he's below Nepasta, but then keep in mind, could Nepasta do Cosmos in 10k? I don't think so. So, unironically, I want to put him there, like, below. But here's the thing, like, it's hard to say, because he's literally, like, so heavy. He's, like, the most wave carry person I've ever seen. What do you guys think? Guys, do you guys think he should be low pro or top of the main list? I'm actually going to base my opinion off of you guys, because I literally have no clue. Would you say he's top of main list, or would you say he's closer to low pro? Because I'm confident he beat someone like Max Dash. But I can't tell if he's at that Purel level, or if he's in that pro category with someone like Doobes, Garbeck, and Zeronium. They have so much more evidence to back them up, but I don't want to just immediately put him there already. Top main list, low pro. I think he's fine right there. High main list, low main list, top of main list, main list. Okay, seems like low pro, top main. Okay, seems like most of you say top of main list. Maybe pro if you move Garbeck and Doobes up. Yeah, but I can't, because Garbeck and Doobes are not high pro. I'm sorry, they're not the high pro level. Yeah, pro and high pro compensate large, like, areas of skill. Just because Zeronium is right beside Garbeck doesn't mean that these guys are really close. Like, Garbeck is a decent bit better than Zeronium, but they're still in the same tier. Worst pro, low pro, okay. Low pro, higher than Pure. Okay, I'll reason with you in the middle and say he's higher than Purel and low pro. It might seem crazy, but I mean, think of how long Purel's had compared, like, Purel's been playing levels for what? Like, these challenges have been going on for over a year, right? Purel, keep in mind that, Emrach still plays Osu. Like, Emrach's doing all this while being number 1 at Osu. Which makes me think that if he dedicated his career to GD, he could definitely go up here. I'll put him top of main list then. I'll put him top of main list. Who should we do now, guys? Who do you want now? We could, like, get through all of TCD, like, in one. Maybe that could be an idea. Cursed, Tyago, Trick, Nethermind, me, Septagon, Tyago. Seems like a lot of yous would want Tyago. Nethermind between Wordy and Dobbin. Cursed, Septa, Tyago. I'm seeing a lot of Tygos and Septagons. I've actually seen a couple of Septagons. Okay, we'll do Septagon. Yeah, it's a lot of Septagons. Now I look. Let's do Septagon. Septagon again, someone I've covered in recent time. Septagon's weird because, like, Septagon's probably the hardest one to rank here because Septagon just plays impossible levels as his career, pretty much. So, like, how do we want to rank... Like, how do we want to rank him here? Like, his progress is crazy, but he hasn't really beat much. Besides, I will say, I mean, he beat Orochi, old Orochi, with crazy consistency. He rebeat it in, like, a week, if even. I'm so confused what ConX is doing on the list. This isn't ranking the top 100 best people or top 50 best people. I'm ranking the top 20 people on the list and adding people who are just interesting to rank with their skill. This isn't like ranking the top 100 or top 50. I think Orochi is top 10. Being that consistent on top 10 is crazy. Having a world record on Silent Acropolis, which I think now is like tidal wave difficulty, is crazy. So where would Septagon go? I feel like Septagon would go in pro. Like, I cannot see anyone in main list doing what Septagon does with, like... I can't even say the sole exception of Emrach because it needs to be a wave level. No one in main list can do that. Zeronium has sheer quantity, which lets him be in pro. I would say the Septagon... Is Septagon above Garbeck? I don't know, because Doobes has also got progress on harder levels, but his progress, I think, is crazier than stuff like Septagon. I think that's actually fair. Having Septagon on the lower ends of pro, because Garbeck's progress on Heliopolis is, like, kinda crazy. So I think mid-pro makes sense. Garbeck also beat every end, which is, again, like, the thing is, Garbeck, I would say that Garbeck, like, has the raw skill of a high pro, but he just hasn't done enough. He hasn't done enough to let me put, again, raw skill, if we were doing this raw skill, Pop Off would be above Zoink and Garbeck would be, like, a higher end of high pro. But I can't put him there because he just hasn't done enough to prove that. So I would say that Septagon's probably mid-pro right now, below Garbeck. I think this is fair. Garbeck is so much better than Septa. Yeah, raw skill maybe, but Septagon is the proof to back up his thing. Right, okay, who should we do now? Should we get another top player out the way and do Nethermind? I know a lot of you wanted to see Nethermind get placed, so maybe that's who we should do. Maybe. Nethermind, Tygo, Chogai. Yes, Nethermind. Wolves. I need to add Wolves to the list. I don't know why I haven't added Wolves. Well, no, Wolves doesn't really play much now, so I wouldn't. Nethermind, yeah. We'll do Nethermind. So Nethermind is one of the best players in the game. Nethermind is Crazy. Number 3 player, by the way. Number 3 player. If we look at the all-time, it's crazy that the top 4 are all American. But, he's like the lower end top 3. As you can see, he's been stuff like Tidal Wave, which is top 5. He's gone... My main thing with Nethermind is the fact that Nethermind has nearly beaten Thinking Space 2. Now, I don't know where you guys think Trick would place, but we can at least agree that when we get to Trick, that he's at least like high end or high pro or low, or like in the top player area, right? I'm sure we can at least agree he's at least one of those. Nethermind is, if he falls through with that, he did something that Trick couldn't. And that is adding on to the fact that he's also done stuff like Tidal Wave. He's done our top 10 Andromeda. Silent Club, Anathema, Avernus Necro. He's got so much. He's got achievements that, like, even 1 or 2 of these alone would land people in the high pro tier. But Nethermind's got that and so much more. So much more. So he has to be top player. It's more where are we putting him in top. But he's above Doggy. Let's just get that out of the way. I don't care what you say, he's above Doggy. Doggy just hasn't shown enough to let me... Maybe before, like a while back, Doggy was definitely above. Now Nethermind would be here. The question is, does the recent aspects of Doin and Wordy beat out Nethermind? I think to figure it out, we need to see how quick Nethermind's doing stuff. The problem is he's locked in on Thinking Space 2 right now, so comparing other stuff is hard. But, like, it seems like all of his other stuff is old because he's just, like, grinding, like, 53 to 100 on Vehemence, like... Nethermind, like, I would say that currently Nethermind's here. I would say that currently he's the best top player. Now, the problem is, like, I think that with time, I see no reason why people like Wordy and Doin won't go above Nethermind. But I think, and I see with no reason why all 3 of these guys could end up in not human tier with time. But for now, current day, which is what we're basing it on, I think Nethermind's our current 3rd best player. Because, like, again, I can't look past, he's definitely, with his current rate, he's definitely 100% going to beat, he's going to beat Thinking Space 2. We already got 42 and 100 on Tidal in 2 streams. But yeah, keep in mind that once Nethermind beats Thinking Space 2, which is literally any day now, okay? Like, if he didn't beat Tidal Wave and he went back to Tidal Wave now, I'm sure he would do it in the same time, if not faster. Again, like, literally in just a couple months, these 2 can be above Nethermind. But for now, I want to say Nethermind's probably free. Probably. Rewind on Trick. I feel like nobody knows how good he is. Do you guys want to do Trick, or is there anyone else that's interesting here? Like, we could do, so many of you have asked for Cursed. We might as well get Cursed out the way. Should we do Cursed? I think Cursed should be next. I think that makes sense. Tygo next, Cursed, yeah. Tygo. Okay, a lot of these want Tygo. I think I want to leave Tygo for a bit later so that we have some of the top players to talk about in the second stream if I don't get through all this in one stream. Just finish up TCD, yeah. Okay, we'll do Cursed, we'll do Cursed, we'll do Cursed, we'll do Cursed. Cursed. What do we think about Cursed, guys? I want to hear your ratings first, actually. I want to see where you think, because I think he's a very interesting one. Because, yes, like, the guy is more wave carried than anything, and even something that's not even top 10 anymore took him 80k attempts. He's definitely really good at the game, but he's far past his prime. Like, back in the day, I would say Cursed. I say back in the day, like, but I guess Super... It's like, back when Scoop and Circles was top 1, he would have been on the higher end of top player. Now, like, I don't know where I would... He's probably on that high pro level. Again, the fact that he can do something like Subsuming Vortex makes me want to put him above people who have got stuff to their name. High pro, low top player, high pro. Okay, you guys seem pretty fond of him, and he's done stuff like Acheron and stuff. Like, he's done stuff that these three. The reason I put him above these guys is he's done stuff that people like Laser and Abdo Devil have done Sharkified. But he's also, on top of that, done stuff as hard as Subsuming Vortex, which beats out anything these guys could do. No shot higher than Laser. If Laser follows through with Glass Chapel, he's 100% better than Cursed. He's 100% better than Cursed. Okay, 100%. But for now, I feel like Cursed has shown that he can do that. Keep in mind, he verified Subsuming Vortex. If he was going for first Victor, then he would have gone lesser attempts. Low top player. I don't think he's top player. I think you guys are kind of overrating him just on the fact that, like, you know that he was top 1 before. Like, if you look at what he's been doing now, like, I wouldn't say he's top player, but he's definitely a good player. He's probably mid-high pro. He's probably here. But anyways, what are we going to do now? I think an interesting one. I mean, you guys want me to go for TCD, but I think an interesting one would be. Should we rank Calencraft? Cause like, what is he? He's like 8, 9 years old. I think he's 8 or 9 years old, and he's beating some crazy stuff. This guy is the only person that probably could be more wave carried than Emrach with what he beats. But he's nowhere near Emrach. Emrach has just shown the same progression but way faster. I mean, he's beating Cold Sweat. Wait, no, he hasn't beaten, but he's going for Cold Sweat, which will be list. So he could definitely, like, currently he's in this extended area. With how slow he's going on Cold Sweat, I would say he's, like, the lowest of extended. But I mean, he has potential. I think a lot of people say, oh, this guy's gonna be the best, like, new gen, like, next generation of next generation's top player. But I don't really see, like, I think he will get higher up. Like, I could see him end up in pro with enough time, but I think he's extended. He's struggling with it, yeah, and I think people overestimate how much age actually plays a part. I think it's more impressive if an older person beats a level than a younger person. I think it's more impressive that EVW can beat the stuff that he can at his age than Callan beating something at a younger age. Well, Cold Sweat is off the list nearly. Yeah, true. So, right, who should we do next? Who shall we go next? We'll do a couple more, and then I think we're gonna have to make this a 2-parter stream. You guys want Chill Guy. We can do Chill Guy. Right. Chill Guy is a weird one. Because Chill Guy, I mean, he recently posted progress on Acheron. I know he only has 5 hours on Acheron. So I can't really say much. I guess the Acheron progress is gone. I don't know where it went, but I swear he made progress on Acheron. He's done crazy stuff, right? But he's jumping. I can't put him in low mainless and faith because he hasn't like I guess his Eternus progress is really crazy. Like really, but besides that, he just has nothing. He just has nothing to his resume other than Eternus. Don't get me wrong, the Eternus stuff is absolutely mad, absolutely mad. But he just doesn't. He just hasn't done anything. He has 14 runs on Acheron. He just does, yeah. But like 14 runs on Acheron, I can get 14 runs on Acheron. Like it isn't. He hasn't done anything that crazy. So I want to put him in extended. But just because of his Eternus progress being that crazy, I want to put him at high extended. But I can't see him anywhere higher. Like I can't see him higher than Lord Vadercraft, who actively beats list levels. Yeah, and he spent almost 1,000,000 attempts on it. Exactly. You have to keep that in mind. If anything, I'm overestimating him being in extended here. 14 runs in 5 hours. Yeah, but that's less than 10%. Like, that's less than 10%. Or I feel like a lot of people can get 14 runs in 5 hours. I could get 10 runs in 5 hours or less. Like, it's not like that's a crazy achievement. Because, like, the only thing that he's learning is the Eternus click pattern. He isn't actually learning really skill, I don't think. Do Whiz Kid? We could do Whiz Kid. We could do Whiz Kid. Make an Eternus tier. And we just add Doobes and we just add, Chill Guy in there. A6. Yeah, that's because he's not good. Well, yeah, I wouldn't say he's not good. Like, anyone who beats Extreme Demons is good at the game. But I think that it doesn't equate to the kind of people we're ranking here. Trick, Space UK, Durkee. Whiz Kid. Whiz Kid? Okay. Should we do Whiz Kid? Let's do Whiz Kid. Let's do Whiz Kid. I'm not a list player, not even close to getting runs on Walter White, which is obviously easier, but 14 runs is very progressive. Yeah, no, Walter, yeah, like I can get, like, the fact that Chill Guy struggles on level, would probably struggle a lot in levels around Walter White difficulty when someone like me, like, I have Walter White in 2 runs. Like, I feel like the fact that I could do stuff more impressive than Chill Guy shows that he's just a Turnus carried, because like I'm by no means good at all. I wouldn't put myself on this list if I am. It's like extended. But like Chill Guy is just a Turnus. Like the Turnus progress is really crazy. It is so crazy that he's able to at that skill do a Turnus progress. That's wild. But the fact that it's 1,000,000 attempts of a Turnus and he's like not like he hasn't done anything outside of it, really. It makes me want to put him there. Anyways, enough rant. WizKid time. What are we doing with WizKid? What are we doing with WizKid? Unrated appreciation was a crazy thing, but, he got 83 on Nullscapes. Right? 83 on Nullscapes is very close to beating it. Does this list include Plat? No, but I might make another video doing that separately. Nullscapes 83 is crazy, but the problem is WizKid is kind of good at everything, but isn't amazing. Like, besides spam, like, he's just really good at specific skill sets, but he's, like, when it comes to actual levels, it makes people, like, overestimate his skill. He's done stuff like Sakupin Circles, Cognito Hazard, Starlit Scroll, Guideless Goobering, Bapam Panka, I don't even know how you say that. Yeah, these are like some harder stuff. Again, he's done some like hard, really skill-based stuff. He verified Anathema and Menace. I think he's definitely pro. Like, he's definitely pro. Where would you guys place him? He's got insane skill sets, but when it comes to actual, like, skill, I feel like... Oh, it's hard. It's hard. I think he's, like, similar to Garbeck. I know Garbeck has like no accomplishments, but those those like completions outweigh Whiz Kid's hardest, and like the Heliopolis progress is crazy. I think he's high pro. High pro. Bottom of high pro. Low high pro, high pro, high pro. Yeah, okay, I'm like thinking, if we can pull up the demon list right now, where is Whiz Kid in comparison to other people? Like, Whiz Kid's 22. Anathema, Lightning Rod, Eisenwater, Manus, Convulsion. I think he's on a similar level to these guys. I would say he's at the very bottom of high pro. Skill set wise, he does stuff that I don't think is that pretty much no one can do. Like, in terms of, I don't believe this guy's a real person, like honestly, he could be not human. He could straight up be, like, not human just with his skill sets. But, when it comes to skill-wise, I think currently he's shown that he's probably at that bottom of high pro. I think that's fair. I want to put another person in pro. Let me look for, and I think someone to put in pro would be Diamond Splash. The fact that Diamond Splash is still playing the game is crazy, by the way. Like, what do you mean Diamond Splash is still active, and what do you mean he's doing hard stuff? Like, he's nearly beaten Anathema! Now, he does take a while to do stuff, which is why I'm probably putting him at the very bottom of pro. But he's done... No, I'm putting him above Zeronium. Sure, Zeronium's done more. But I think that Diamond is going to be probably pro. I think Diamond Splash is above Zeronium. He hasn't really done something that's on the levels of, like, the Septagon, Orochi, or Garbeck Heliopolis progress, or Grief in free runs, 20% Turnus. And he's definitely not the high pro levels, but I think putting him in pro is fine. Do our Shadow, he's streaming right now. Guys, go notify our Shadow right now. Wait, is that true? We'll do our Shadow then. That's not the right our Shadow. Where the how do you, yeah. Oh, it's our Shadow of, like, AR. He is live, guys. Wow, he's got 7 times more people watching him than us. Wow, he's mocking us. Okay. Ask him, no, guys, go ask him where he would place. In Russian. I don't know if he speaks, does he speak Russian in his chat? Wait, are the ovals still there?
Отдыхаем.
Or are the ovals gone?
Чилим, сидим. Аккуратненько.
I don't know, but let's rank him. Our Shadow is another case of being specific level carried. Place him in Vernosis. In Vernosis tier. But Vernosis is taking up all the space. I can't add him there. Like, yes, he's Cosmos carried. I'm not gonna deny that. But, I mean, Trifa at 1.3 speed. He's still beating stuff like Anathema. Like, he's done crazy stuff. And, well, usually because he's really only done stuff like Cosmos, I would downgrade his achievement. The difference is here that the Cosmos Unleashed is, like, above, like, it's a top one. Like, Cosmos Unleashed is way harder than something like Grief or Vehemence currently. I would say that he's top player. He's done runs on levels that's around the peak of what Doggy can do. I see the offer is still there on stream. Is it? Oh, why is the... He died to the oval! Get fucked! Okay. Right. Yeah, I think he's bottom... I think he's probably above Doggy, honestly. But, like, I mean... He's like he's like a bottom top player. He's on a similar wavelength. He's like very close to Doggy. But the thing is, how long has he been playing Cosmos Unleashed for again? We've been seeing runs like 49 to 111 months ago. Cosmos, like he's been playing, if anything, longer than Doggy. I'm actually gonna put him below Doggy just for the fact that he's been playing it. He's been playing it for less time. Or, sorry, more time than Doggy. And Doggy's beaten. The stuff that he's cracked at, that he's tried, he's beaten. Our Shadow gets, like, the progress. So I'm gonna say that Doggy's above Our Shadow. But Our Shadow is, like, you could interchange them. Like, they're very much around that difficulty. Like, range. Do you know he's been buffing it? Yeah, he's been buffing it a ton. He hasn't been playing it more than Doggy. I mean, it's in, like, the time from when he started. Like, look at this. Unnerved Cosmos. Like, 2 years ago, he's been doing stuff on it. When did, like, 2 years ago, okay? When did Doggy start up his first grief stream? We probably have a lot to scroll down. I should probably go on oldest. A year ago. So yeah, he's been playing it longer. Like, obviously he's been ultra buffed by then. But he's been playing it for a longer duration of time. I think that this is fair. I think I'm the bottom of top player. But there's levels to all of this. Like, Nethermind is, like, by a mile better than Our Shadow. Quattroentos is by a mile better than, Whiz Kid. Doobes is by a mile better than Zeronium. Emrach's by a mile better than Lord Vadercraft. Like, just because they're on the same tier doesn't mean they're, like, the same skill, by the way, guys. Like, I'm not saying, by having Our Shadow here, I'm not saying, and Doggy here, I'm not saying they're the same skill as Nethermind. I'll do Apex now. I'm gonna do Apex because Apex is, if we take a look, if we take a peek, okay, that's Apex Legends. I don't think we want that drone. When did I put drone? Okay. Apex, I want you to keep in mind, he broke the record for the most amount of extremes, beaten. Like, he broke the record, okay? Where is his, like, 999? Yeah, here. 1,000 extremes, okay? And then, in a couple of months, just a couple of months, if you count he's pretty much gotten around the same skills. He's pretty much gotten around the same amount of extremes beaten as me. And I've gotten multiple main lists in 2 runs and extended beat. Or extended beat. So this guy is genuinely crazy, and I believe he's playing Walter White currently. Did he end up beating Walter White? He got 84 here. He might have beaten it. Maybe he took a break. But the fact that he can pretty much beat Walter White, and he's beaten stuff like Oblivion, means that he's definitely not extended tier. He's definitely not extended tier. I'd say he's probably similar to Lord Vadercraft in skill. I'd say he's above him just because the sheer amount of extremes he's done. But he's not, like, super high. He's not super high. Also, guys, I played against Apex in the GD World Tournament. This guy was so scary. This guy was so scary to go up against. Son, you don't have as many extremes as Apex. That's not what I said. I said that he has... I said he got in 1,000 extremes. I said he beat 1,000 extremes. And then in a couple months after beating 1,000 extremes, he ended up from the 1,000 point and beating in a couple months more extremes than the entirety of extremes I've beaten since start of the game in 2017, 2018. That's crazy. That's a low placement in my opinion. I understand saying that's a low placement, but you have to realize he's kind of quantity over quality in a nutshell. Everything he beats is like very easy, and like he probably has the raw skill to go higher, but he just doesn't. He doesn't try. He beat Oblivion, and he's nearly beaten Walter White, which is achievements that on their own wouldn't even beat Lord Vadercraft, but for the sheer number of extremes, I'm gonna say he's above Lord Vadercraft. But again, because they're all easy, I'm not putting him above people like Aonire or Nepesta. I'm just not. Who shall we add next? Who should we do next? We can do technical. Technical's like the slightly better pasta. Pretty much like Acheron. He's beaten now. He's beaten Slaughterhouse. He just does stuff that Nepesta just couldn't. But he's a very similar tier. Since he's so, like, he does take a while to do stuff like Slaughterhouse and Acheron. And I'm sure if someone like Purel took that same amount of time, he wouldn't spend the same amount of attempts. And Purel also spammed to his name. With the sheer amount of attempts that Emrach takes, I don't want to say Emrach's better than technical. I want to say that Emrach's better than technical. But I think technical is underrated. Like, he's made a massive comeback. But he's not the same level. He's not doing something like Anathema, which is something like Diamond Splash can do. And he doesn't have the sheer quantity that someone like Zeronium has. I think he has like 3 times or maybe even 4 times less extreme speed than Zeronium. At least Baron Purel, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's, you know what, fine, yeah, no, I'll say he's probably Baron Purel. I think that's a fair assessment. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do 1 or 2 more, and then I'm gonna end stream. I'm gonna make this a part 2 because I've done like my voice is like leaving me right now. Should we do okay, I want to do extra nuggies before I go because this is the what? This is the Angelicide guy. This is we go here. Who recently, if I had the ability to make news videos daily currently, I would cover this guy. Because he did 56 to 98. 56 to 98 on Angelicide, and he claims this is around top 10 difficulty. The only thing is, again, Extra Nuggies is Angelicide carried, just like Show Guys Etern is carried. Extra Nuggies is Angelicide carried. What does he beat that isn't Angelicide? Like, literally all of this is just Angelicide program. Does anyone know what Extra Nuggies' hardest is? Does anyone know? Is it unknown? Be unknown, be unknown. Okay, unknown. Which is something that Emrach did in 3 days. Okay, Scrivenhound unknown. Lexicat carried. So where do we want to rate this? Because we're rating this off of pretty much literally one level. That puts Extra Nuggies out of extended. It's something that I do not see anyone there doing. I don't want to say pro. Like, I can in good faith put pro because he doesn't, like, he doesn't, like, Extra Nuggies hasn't done anything other than Angelicide. Put him right above Emrach. If we, like, if, like, Emrach hard focused on the game, but I feel like having a bit more achievements would put Emrach above Extra Nuggies, and that's such a little amount of time that I might want to say that Extra Nuggies is just one below Emrach. I think I'm fair there. They're, like, pretty equal. I think that's a fair assumption. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do one more person before I leave because my voice is getting way too sore. Who do you want it to be the last person for part 1 of this ranking? Part 1. Who are we placing? A6, Space UK, A6, Space UK, nickname, Levi, Space, A6, total nickname, Taigo, Space. I've never seen my chat go that fast. I'm seeing a lot of Space UK. And A6, but I think the Space UK is just coming from one person. No, wait, no, a couple Space UKs. We'll do Space UK. Well, actually, or do we want to do Taigo? It's between Taigo and Space UK. Okay. We'll do... Okay, wait, no, we'll do Taigo. People are saying Taigo. A lot of people are saying Taigo. Let's pull up Taigo. I'm gonna pull up Taigo's channel here, and I'm gonna put Taigo on the stat viewer. Taigo's a crack player. I feel like this Taigo's name's there's Taigo. Taigo's the best no, East Shark's ranked higher, but one of the best European players. Tidal Wave is the main one, but keep in mind we also have these kind of lower, like in these the top 20 range levels like Tunnel Despair, Kuki, Starhouse, Acheron, Avernus. A lot of harder stuff as well, a bunch of extended lists, ton of legacy lists, been at for a while, but I believe most of you are going to want me to, a bunch of you are going to want me to talk about this, Sweeping Demon. Now, I saw a post on Twitter recently. I know I shouldn't really cover it much because, or like believe in it much because it's by Poltergeist, and we know Poltergeist takes on Twitter are. But I think Poltergeist brought up a good point. Is that someone's skill level at the range of Taigo would not be spending this long verifying a level as hard as Sweeping Demon 2 and it not being at least like top 3. This is, please do space as the last one. Fine, I'll do space after this, and that's it. So like I have it to believe that this is maybe even like harder than like around the difficulty of Amethyst, like harder than Tidal Wave and Orbit at least. Where do we want to have this progress place? Like, okay, the fact that he can do something like Tidal Wave and get progress on something that hard makes me want to say he's above Quattroentos. It's top 1? It's top 1? Exactly, yeah. I think it is, like, if you gave Taigo thinking space, he would not spend that long. So, like, I wouldn't disagree saying it's top 1. A6 says easily top 1, and A6 is really good. So, yeah. It's probably top 1 then. Honestly, it's probably our most likely next top 1. Is more like if it will get rated. Where do we want to place him, but? Well, I don't see Doggy doing that. Until Doggy beats Grief, I don't want to put Doggy any higher. with his consistency, I do believe he'll beat it soon. He's like really locked into doing it now. With his current speed, I actually don't want to say he's the range of Dolphin or Wordy. That's how like cracked these guys are in recent times. Like like even with Taigo's skill, I can't see Taigo doing Tidal Wave as quick as what Wordy's doing. And by saying that, he's instantly below Darwin because Darwin is literally just Wordy's skill level. I want to say that this is the ranking I want to put Taigo at. I think he's like the perfect mid-range top player. Like Nethermind, but worse in a way. I think this is a good placement for Taigo. Put Emrach higher. I would if Emrach does more stuff. Emrach's only beaten 5 levels, by the way, like 5 extremes. So I can't in good faith put Emrach any harder. Emrach's got the skill of a high pro, but Emrach doesn't play. Hasn't really played much to really put that as high. Last one we'll do, like I said, is Space UK. This is the last one. You guys want it. When is Space UK? Has Space UK really played in recent time? Like, he did Acheron. That's an ad. He did Acheron. He was doing runs in Subterminal Point and gave up. He was doing some Tidal Wave stuff. Like, genuinely, with his skill level, like his true skill level, like these are stuff that are already harder than something like Zeronium could do. I think he's probably he's probably Acheron's pretty hard. He's probably here. Like again, if Emrach does a bit more, I could see him go higher. He's probably at the very, very bottom of pro. I don't want to put. I know he's got harder stuff done than Zeronium, but like Zeronium just has so much to him, and like now that we know that Space Give's hacking, he's got like nothing to his name pretty much. So I would say not human. True, he should be at the top of not human technically with those achievements, but I think he's at the very, very bottom. But then like his motivation makes me want to say main list. Like, I don't know. Guys, I'll let this be up to you because I genuinely don't know. Would you say he's at the top of main list, like the best main list? Or would you say he's a low, like, bottom pro, like the easiest, like the worst pro here? Acheron is barely above You know what? You bring up a good point there. I mean, I wasn't going to put him above Zeronium, but Zeronium's hardest is Abyss of Darkness, which is comparable to Acheron, and they both spend a similar amount of time. Top main list, very low pro, main list. So we're looking at, it seems like, ooh, it's very divided. The chat's divided, which is, making this difficile. Below technical, they have the same, having the same hardest doesn't mean much. But the fact that, I mean, I guess they took the same, you bring up, you know what, I would say low, I would say high main list. I'd say he's like here, maybe. High main list, yeah. Keep in mind that now that I think about it, I guess I still have that he was like a top player in my head, when obviously he wasn't. He was just like playing Tidal Wave, but that doesn't really count as anything. He didn't finish Subterminal Point, beat Acheron, and then the rest is just like a couple like low main lists. So unironically, you might be right. He might be lower than. He's definitely better than Purel. Or he might be lower than Technical. I think that's good. I think that's a good list right there. He definitely is he definitely is the higher on the main list because Acheron's crazy, but I think that's a good placement for him. But anyways, that is the current list for part 1. Part 2, I'll add a couple more people that you guys recommended, and we'll finish off everyone at the bottom. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. I think there's some controversial takes, like, I think the high pro, like, the way that the high pros are ranked is a bit iffy, more just because they're very similar in skill. I think from Whiz Kid to Quattroentos is a very similar skill range, so it's hard to rank them. But overall, I think I'm pretty happy with the list. I'm very happy with how the top player non-human looks, and I'm happy with the extended and most of the main. Add me next stream. Okay, maybe I will. So yeah, I don't know when I'll announce in my Discord when I'll do the next one, of this. I have it might be tomorrow or the day after, because I might want to get this done before exams. But, we'll see. Thanks for coming along, and yeah, peace.